You know, we should have recorded this
last night
at 1 a.m. Hello and welcome to the ParkStop podcast, episode 68.
Yep, that one.
My name is Alicia Stella. With me, as always, is my co-host Ian.
Hey, kids. I need
And
Celsius.
Today we are celebrating 23 announcements from the D23 Expo 2024.
Only 23 announcements?
Well, that's okay. We're not going to talk about the cruise ships or Fortnite.
or any of the music we heard about that was going off?
Yeah. Why are we staying up till 3 a.m.? Because there's a lot of songs playing, apparently. I will say, this is a great departure from the last two events, or last three events, really, because Destination D did the same thing. To the point where Josh D'Amaro had to literally spell it out at the beginning, and they put it on the Parks blog. So I'm going to now read a quote before, this is a preface before we talk about all these announcements.
Okay.
At Disney Experiences, Imagineers Dream, you know what, let's skip that part.
Yes,
Everything
please.
we're going to share with you is in active development. Plans are drawn, dirt is moving. I just want to be clear about this. We are doing everything you've heard here tonight.
Cool.
So we're going to hold him to that.
Yeah.
He didn't say everything is going to look like the concept art. He didn't say that,
You mean he didn't say it's all going to be good? We're just actually doing it, though.
Oh, it all looked good. Don't be a prickle pants.
It looked good.
Oh,
like
okay.
you just said.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Some of the concept art doesn't look good. And like the Lion King thing. And it turns out that's incorrect. You have to listen to the words that they say and don't look at the pictures that they share. Because
Pay
apparently,
no attention to the things you see.
Did you want to go through all the announcements in order, or do you want to just start arguing about where Monsters, Inc. is going?
We should start with Monsters, Inc., but I do want to say something before we start for my own personal behalf in case I forget to say it later.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of cool announcements. I am hesitant because of the way that things have been finished and finalized when they open, except for Tiana's.
Well, if Tiana's worked, it's a wonderful ride.
It is.
It's having some issues.
But in general, over the last few years, I'm hesitant to get too excited about anything until I actually see it. And it's not, I don't know. It's just because I feel it's like Disney PTSD. It's like, look at this awesome thing we're going to build. And then we get it. And it's like kind of the same.
Well, I guess it's going back to 2017, but I liked Avatar. The world, I like Pandora, the world of Avatar, I think is a very good land. It's well rounded. It has the things I need. It doesn't go out of its way to try too hard to do things that it doesn't do right. So it just does all the things it does right. I like that land. I think Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has one really good ride, and I like hanging out in it with people, but it doesn't emotionally connect to me. And it's a minor misfire, but it's designed really well. It certainly looks expensive.
That's my thing, though. Galaxy's Edge is a perfect example.
It just doesn't resonate correctly.
I still say that they left money on the table by making like duplicate lands.
No, fine, but I'm not going anywhere else.
I know. But my point is exactly that. Like we were told we're getting all of this stuff, and then we get it. It's like half of what they said. That's why I'm always hesitant.
And we only got half of what they announced.
I know. That's what my point is. Like it's always like, yes, this is going to be awesome, and then it happens, and I'm like, ugh. So I'm just Disney. You're not going to hurt me like that again. That's my point. I
want to believe because they shifted a lot of gears.
Yeah.
During COVID.
They
shifted teams. They moved projects around. They canceled a ton of things that they already announced, like Spaceship Earth redo, pretty much all half of Epcot. So big things like Villains Land, you can't go back on that now that you said it. That genie's out of the bottle.
Yeah, but this is also the Galaxy's Edge risk all over again. Like that concept art is promising a lot just in like hopes and dreams.
Well, it's more of a mood board than concept.
I know. We can get to it. I know. I'm very aware.
But you made a good point, though, about Galaxy's Edge and leaving money on the table by having two separate lands, because the Avatar land they announced for Disney California Adventure is different than the Valley Moara version.
They proved me right. They're proving me.
That's just a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Because James Cameron's involved, and he's like, hey, I got new movies coming out, and I got new locations and new creatures. Like just like they did with Flight of Passage, and he got them to stick one of those space whales in there before he even finished the design and the jumping space dolphins. somehow he managed to get, because this isn't just based on Way of Water. This is based on Way of Water and also incorporating elements from the upcoming film.
Yeah, Fire and Ash, is that what it's called? Correct?
I believe you mean the Seed Bearer? No, yeah, it's Fire and Ash. They changed the name. It is Fire and Ash. This concept art is amazing. Just like the last piece of concept art, but this one's more detailed. I assume it's from Dylan Cole, the production designer of Avatar. Amazing artist. The art for the inside of this boat ride that's going to Disney California Adventure looks amazing.
It does.
It's like twice as big boats as Navi River Journey, twice as big settings.
Twice as big ride.
Twice as big ride, like with an ending and a story. I think it's the Shanghai boat system. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, I think everybody thinks that.
Yeah, based on the old concept art, we got kind of guessed that.
There was a lot of boats.
There was less boats than I was expecting at this announcement.
Okay, sorry.
There was half as many boats as I was expecting.
There were, but we
only had 3, I think.
There's still a fair amount of boats, more than I was expecting.
Wait, right? No. Yeah, no, 3.
Okay, anyway, sorry. Yeah, I think the Avatar stuff looks great. I'm kind of excited for it. I think the concept art looks beautiful. And even the ride art looks really cool.
And unfortunately, Nene couldn't be here today.
So otherwise, you're stuck with my grumpiness.
So otherwise, we would have been talking about where because we need our expert on California attractions. We need to figure out where this is going. Everyone seems to think Hollywoodland at Disney California Adventure. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, extending out beyond the park a little bit, because it's, Yeah,
that was my suggestion was, that space they said was just the concept and nothing they really, really wanted to do until they really, really wanted to do it.
So this is, the other thing for California Adventure is probably getting shoved out into Disneyland Forward, which is the Coco boat ride. Oh, a boat ride.
Another boat ride.
This concept art looked amazing too.
Yeah, I'm for this. I think all of these are potentially cool. Well,
I'm super jealous. It's weird because Avatar is like my favorite movie. I should be really jealous of that, but I'm really jealous about the Coco boat ride. I want that.
You can be jealous of both. I'm just saying.
I'm super rules. Jelly. Look how pretty it is. It's so colorful and so happy.
Awesome.
And it's a boat ride.
It's still not a boat, though.
This is the first, what did they say? It's the first ride based on Coco coming to a Disney park.
Yeah.
It'll have advanced audio animatronics, like the latest audio animatronic technology.
How long until it shows up in Mexico?
Do you mean in Epcot or like the actual country?
Either or.
Because Epcot's closer to me.
It is.
I don't know. That's some people were wondering that. They're like, is this being designed in such a way that it can be ported over? But it's so grand in scope in these pictures.
It is, but also if you look at it, it kind of looks like El Tiempo a little bit.
Well, yeah, because it's a festival.
Well, I'm just saying, it's got fireworks on the ceiling. It's got
that's from Coco.
On the stage. I know, but still.
Bridge. It's got the bridge between worlds back there.
I like the houses. There's so many faces in the buildings too. I love that. They look like skulls everywhere. It's so cool. Did you notice that?
Yes.
So cool. I love skulls.
It looks very beautiful.
It does.
And I'm super jelly at that. There's one more announcement, isn't there? We'll skip ahead to it. There was Avengers Campus is getting completed. Do you see?
Boy. Yeah.
Good for them.
Yay, finally.
Oh, they did also give us actual dates and timelines, because again, all of this is not blue sky and it is really happening.
Yay.
So
I like that some of their announcements were just opening suggestions for when things were going to be done.
So Coco, the construction begins on Coco in 2026, which leads me to believe that is a Disneyland Forward project. Therefore, they have to move things around to get to that point. Whereas the pause is while I look for Avatar. Oh, it doesn't say when it's starting.
Of course not. Why would they do that?
Everything else says when it starts. Okay, well, Avatar doesn't say when it starts construction, but I assume sooner than 2026.
Let's hope so. If they're saying the Earth is moving and stuff already.
The Earth is always moving. It spins on its axis and revolves around the sun.
Disney has no control over that as much as they'd like.
While it moves around the Milky Way, and the Milky Way moves around.
Oh, okay, man.
So
okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the Avengers Campus, not just getting its main e-ticket ride, but also getting a bonus ride sitting out front of the e-ticket.
And how did you refer to it? Because I like the way you referred to it.
What was it? That somehow the sum of all thrills has returned.
Yes.
So the main ride is called now Avengers Infinity Defense.
Oh.
Who was announcing this?
In Scott We Trust.
Oh, Scott Trowbridge, who made the Spider-Man ride for Islands of Adventure and is forever cursed to make more Marvel rides forever. That's what you get for doing so good back then.
You get to throw a Star Wars ride in there.
Did you notice he refused? Like, he's been like, I think they've been polling poorly on the word multiverse.
Yeah, probably.
Because the last time they announced this version of the ride, they talked about how like you'd be exploring the multiverse and all the different characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe will be there. This time he said worlds. You'll be traveling to different worlds. The worlds you'll go to and the different worlds you'll see. And I'm like, I think we're moving past the multiverse.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
The buzzword has changed.
Or Earth 10005 or whatever.
It's like the metaverse. Like the corporations have run the word into the ground and now we can't use it anymore. So yeah, we have the main ride, which looks like the Peter Pan ride at Fantasy Springs, which is the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man and Islands of Adventure, but like modernized. And did you see that piece of concept art where like there was a giant Ant-Man?
Yeah, I saw Giant Ant-Man. That's
like
pretty
coming
cool.
through because what's great about that piece of concept art is that there's like foreground elements that are probably practical and then multiple screen pieces around them and then projection mapping to bridge the gaps. And I liked that about the Peter Pan ride. If you watch the POV, is that they have separate screen pieces. So in their different shapes. So it feels more three-dimensional as opposed to the one screen in the center for the Spider-Man ride.
Yeah.
Or for both Spider-Man rides, I guess.
It's going to be all right, I guess. I mean, I think compared to what they were talking about, what they were going to like do for this ride, it seems like a backtrack, but it's Trowbridge, so...
It seems like what they were going to do is now sitting in the parking lot for this ride.
Yeah.
And then it's like when you go up to the past the Quinjet, you can go left for the main ride or go forward to experience a prototype of the ride system they passed on instead of doing okay, Disney, you've officially become Universal. You came up with a very innovative and insane ride system only to fall back on the scoop.
I know, right?
You've completely done a Universal.
And then you took the Kuka arm and then made a really cool thing where it attaches and detaches for like load and unload. And you're like, let's just do the Spider-Man ride vehicle again.
Do you think they already ordered all the Kuka arms?
Probably. Or those were just the ones they got in. They're like, okay, that's enough.
We'll just make a ride real quick. We have all the technology. We've done the R&D. So this ride just looks like a loop.
It does look like a loop.
An assembly line at a Ford factory for cars.
You're
Literally.
Thrown around on an arm a little bit.
And instead of the arm putting on like a piece of a car at each station, it picks up the ride vehicle that you're sitting on already. So you're not loading on the Kuka, you're loading on the standalone seat. Which was the concept that they were supposedly coming up with for the e-ticket, where you get into a Quinjet in these individual seats, or these pods of 2 seats, I guess. And then halfway through the ride, a Kuka arm would sneak behind you and grab your vehicle, and then your Quinjet would explode around you, and all of the separate seating arrangements would fly apart on the Kuka arms, and you do... the Kuka arm would still be just like stationary in front of a screen, but you do your own little pod scene with the Kuka arm. Yeah. Which is a really cool, like, I'm on a Rocketeer jetpack moment, and then you'd be put back into a normal ride vehicle moment for the end to be unloaded. And instead of that now, it's just a loop in a parking lot garage.
Are you understanding my reasoning for being worried about the end attractions now?
Yes, but this is a bonus. We still have the e-ticket. This is the 4th attraction.
Is it really an e-ticket, though?
Well, the other one is. The other one's an Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man e-ticket. It's a Peter Pan.
It's fine.
I'm sure it's going to be good. It's got King Thanos.
It's going to be great. It's got Trowbridge, which is the only reason I have any hope. But
I think the Peter Pan ride looks like my favorite thing from Fantasy Springs.
I hear it's awesome.
I'm saying like the Tangled ride's too short, even though it has impressive sequences. The Frozen ride is still just the normal Frozen. Wait, no, they have the good Frozen ride.
We have the good Frozen ride. We have the lame Frozen ride.
They have the good Frozen ride with like the weird esoteric moments where they're just like in a black void,
Of course, because
And then she gets unfrozen. The cape comes to life. Okay, maybe Frozen is my favorite, but Peter Pan's a close second.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good ride. It's just like this is kind of my point though. Like we're going to do this thing. It's going to be really cool. We're going to do this. It's going to be awesome, and it's just going to be the scoop though. No, we're just going to do that, which doesn't mean it's going to be a bad ride necessarily, but they get you all hyped up for something, and they're like bait and switch. Like, nah, never mind.
I mean, the Scoop is a good ride vehicle.
It is a great ride vehicle.
And it looks like they finally learned their lesson and put the walls up high enough to block a periphery. Finally.
It only took them, since 1998 to copy the Scoop?
I wonder if there's some kind of weird patent that they couldn't infringe upon for 20 years.
You can't then finally make the walls higher than this.
So you go on Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and the illusion is completely broken by seeing the other vehicles also doing the same thing, and the parallax doesn't match. And now we have walls, so we can make it work.
It's so ridiculous. I think it's going to be all right for a ride. I think it'll be a good ride. What else we got?
I think that's all for DCA. It was kind of mixed up, so I'm checking my notes. Yeah, that was all for DCA. Then we jumped. I think they did a bunch of. They talked about shows, right?
Yeah, I don't care.
And parades. I know you don't care about shows.
Okay, yeah, but we are getting a nighttime parade, right? Coming back to Magic Kingdom.
Starlight, right? Disney Starlight.
Yeah, because you.
I'm a starlighter myself. I believe in the cause.
I was gonna say you made a good post. That was great. I laughed a lot. That was really good.
I believe in the cause. I think that it's time that soups around the world are held accountable for their actions.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure Disney loves that.
Wait, was there a timeline? We're going to be doing this the whole time. Was there a timeline for the Avengers thing? No, it just says assembling soon. Okay, moving on.
Assembling soon. Yeah, it says nothing.
But the nighttime parade coming to Magic Kingdom. We haven't had a nighttime parade in, I believe, forever.
Yeah, forever. For the first time in forever.
This is coming summer 2025. So less than a year from now, we will get a new nighttime parade. It's like hosted by the Blue Fairy. And it will feature things like Peter Pan, Encanto, Frozen, and more. The concept art looks pretty. It's got colors. You'll know there'll be like lots of glowing little light diodes.
Colors and lights, lots of LEDs and stuff.
Yeah.
Moving things. Maybe it'll be like the lanterns we go see on occasion around Christmas.
The studio park at Disneyland Paris, which I can't remember the name of, Disney Adventure World.
Yeah, that's the weird one.
Disney Adventure World. That's going to take some getting used to.
It's just weird.
Well, at least it doesn't create any brand confusion now with Walt Disney Studios Park and Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, but is it really better? Anyway.
No, I didn't say it was better. Everything that goes to this park is somehow made worse. Like, oh, this name is kind of generic. Let's make a new name. We have an opportunity to rebrand ourselves, and somehow it's a more generic name.
It's just we have to make sure we use this word. We have these 10 words to choose from, and we have to make them last.
I'm surprised Magic isn't in there. Adventures. Anyway, Adventure's a ride name, I thought. Like Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Now the adventure is the whole park.
This is an adventure world. So remember they announced they were going to do Star Wars.
Yep.
They're not. Now they're doing Lion King.
Splash Mountain Lion King?
Well, they released this concept art for the Splash Mountain Lion King ride. And it certainly confused everyone because it shows clearly the live action style Lion King characters.
Yes, it does.
Zazu is definitely like, look at them. It shows the log as having single row, one per row, like Disneyland style Splash Mountain boats.
Yeah, it's weird.
But then if you look at the model from this morning, the next day, it's side by side 2-person per row and animated characters.
So weird.
In other words, this is old concept art. And they did say, DeMauro specifically said, this is based on the classic animated Lion King film, which still honestly leads me to wonder, well, they're both animated. Are you considering the new one a classic yet?
I was going to say, are we doing this again? The animated argument?
But they don't ever call the new one animated.
No, they call it live action, even though that's not accurate either.
So instead of releasing this old concept art that's already clearly outdated, they really should have just shown a photo of the model last night.
Yeah. For sure.
I do notice if you look at the model, it looks truncated. Like if this was comparable to Splash Mountain, which the boats look very similar. They have the same cutout on the front for splashing. Yep. It doesn't have the loop around the front. So it's missing what some would say, like all Disneyland Paris studio park rides, it's missing half the ride. Somehow, everything that gets announced for that only comes halfway. So, poor park.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully there'll be some animatronics on it. Yeah, throw them a bone.
I hope so. I mean, it'd be really weird to have that and not have animals on it that are animatronics.
It's celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, The Lion King.
We old.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in theaters.
Shh.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. We don't have to talk about it.
And when is that breaking ground or opening? It just says it is time. Okay, well, that clears that up.
Now is the time, apparently.
They announced animatronic Walt Disney for Disneyland Park.
I'm iffy on this one.
Walt Disney, A Magical Life.
I'm iffy on this one.
It seems to have a divided. It has divided the people on social media.
It seems a little creepy to me.
I don't care.
I don't care all that much either, but it seems a little creepy to me.
I don't. Why is it creepy that this man gets an animatronic and not creepy that Lincoln does? Is it the 100 years difference? Is that what?
Yeah,
is that making the difference?
I think it's the huge gap that makes a difference. Because
it's
like
so weird how time does that. It's still just two humans.
I know, but at the same time, like Walt feels, at least to maybe a specific generation, more tangible than Lincoln. You know what I mean?
Well, there's more footage of him.
Yeah. Well, also there's like people that probably still alive that actually watched him on TV and stuff. So
right.
I think it feels a little more tangible. So it just feels a little odd. Like maybe even not to me, but maybe even a little gruesome to some people, like to a very few. I don't know, but not to
like
me.
Resurrecting a ghost.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
But like it's going to be an actor portraying his voice and motion control. Like that's the weird thing for me is that we have so many recordings. I know what Walt sounds like.
That was what I was going to say. If they did it as some kind of like mishmash of like audio recordings of him to let him tell his own story, that'd be a little bit better.
Maybe it'll be AI, like new Darth Vader.
Probably. I mean, you get Arnold Schwarzenegger singing songs now with AI voice. So
wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can. There's entire things out there, videos of like James Hetfield singing like Taylor Swift and stuff, and it sounds pretty real.
So this is going the same theater as Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, I think, right? So they're alternating. So it's funny because Lincoln sits and stands, but like Lincoln stood up so Walt could lean.
He's probably going to lean and stand. I don't know if
Walt's is he going to stand? I don't know. He's
probably
depicted leaning.
I don't think he's going to stay like that the whole time. Is he going to have a cigarette? Wait, sorry.
I was going to make a joke about chili dog breath, like Stitch. See, you can't. Like cigarettes in here. We can't call it ghoulish and then make jokes about him. That's
yes, we can.
It's not fair.
Yes, we
can. It's a double standard.
No, because dark humor is my way of coping with things. So
okay,
that's my trauma response. I definitely can.
He's a beloved like figure and.
Well, so I don't know if. Well, I mean, the Disney family seems to be involved, which makes me feel a little bit better. But
okay, yeah, I'm not. I don't have an opinion one way or the other. I like it's one of those things I probably would go see once and then move on and go do Coco over and over and over again.
I don't have a strong opinion, but it is the thing I'm the most iffy about. Like I don't know about
that. Okay, Tropical Americas. What's with the sigh?
The weird carousel thing.
Oh, that's
out of nowhere.
That well, no, it's not out of nowhere. It was rumored to either be Coco or random Disney characters from various properties, and there was no in between.
It's so random, and I mean the art looks great. It looks like they spent a lot of time like sorting out how to put Indy there, and they did the Encanto thing, and then there's just like, oh, there's just some random woodcarver town that loves Disney characters. Like what? You make it all feel real, but then there's what?
Well, it's kind of funny because it's almost like a roadside attraction.
The carousel part isn't what's throwing me though. It's this wood artist just decided he loves Disney characters, so he carved them.
Honestly, that sounds very realistic. There's a guy in my neighborhood who does 2D like wood art for holiday decorations, and you can go and like buy them from his garage, and they're all Disney characters because that is very relatable to people who do woodworking.
I don't know. I think like I think mythological and random animals with a few Disney characters like snuck in there would have been cooler. It made a little more sense.
It's done really well.
It looks nice.
Well, it just goes to show that the mandated there must be an IP tied to everything is definitely true.
Yeah, and it's
when the
really
carousel can't even come in unscathed. Never again will there be a Triceratops spin just thrown into the mix.
Well, I mean, never mind. I was going to say they could use like some of the Coco has a lot of mythical creatures in it, but that's
It
not this
can, but it's
country.
not. It's yeah,
That's
exactly.
not the country. Yeah,
right. That's not the region they're going with in South and Central America. They did actually release some details for this area though.
Yeah. What do you got?
Indiana Jones and Encanto confirmed for Animal Kingdom.
Yay!
This is the one I was actually looking forward to because it's the one that we actually know is happening.
Yeah.
The entry to the land looks really nice. I think the carousel looks nice, and I think that we need more kid-friendly rides. I think it'll get more play than Triceratops Spin because it's covered.
Yeah, I think it looks really nice. I think the land looks really well done in general from the art that we can see.
Indiana Jones is replacing Dinosaur, which is, and this begins the like thing that was funny about last night. There was a ton of announcements that are rumors that we've been talking about for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the funny thing. One of the first rumors I ever reported on in 2015 or something was, will Indiana Jones replace Dinosaur? And at the time I'm like, no, it's not going to. But here we are, like 9 years later.
Finally, they decided to.
Yes, we are. It's happening. To wait long enough.
The good part is it's not a copy and paste, which is what I like.
Well, and the track layout is different from the Disneyland version. It's different enough that it would be weird to clone a 20-something, 30-year-old attraction to a lesser quality version to a pre-existing ride system. So I'm glad plus also they got to incorporate animals more than just snakes. Why'd it have to be snakes? So there's going to be a mythical, although this becomes an issue for me, is that Animal Kingdom now has like 3 areas that focus on mythical things or magical things.
And not one dragon.
Banshees are like dragons.
Are they though?
Yeah, they're pretty much dragons. Let's be real.
But wait. The weird thing about the Indiana Jones thing is I'm used to the movies. I don't read the books, but he's always after an item, like an article. Now it's like he's after a creature, a beast.
Well, I think he found this temple, this ancient Mayan temple, and he's exploring it. And then he comes across a mythical beast. Because there is like a weird, gigantic, glowing amulet in the concept art.
There is, but that doesn't mean it's the end of anything.
He's found, something.
Oh, how good is Indy? The animatronic for Indy better be amazing.
I'm weirdly indifferent about this because I like Dinosaur, but I recognize that it's not great. Like it's scary for children, and like children like dinosaurs, so it kind of it doesn't succeed in the thing that it should succeed in.
I think it's kind of become like a kitschy kind of enjoyment kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of cheesy, but it's still fun.
Yeah, like we all like Seeker.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's become fun.
What else do we got? Encanto.
I am excited for Encanto.
Of course you are. And we're going to get moving furniture, right? That's how we're moving around this place?
Yeah. So
it looks like a boat in the picture because there's like water dumping.
It's definitely not a boat ride.
It's not a boat ride.
Because they say that you're going to jump on moving furniture. Although, did the furniture move? I don't think Casita controls the furniture. Casita moved the floor tiles to move furniture. Because the furniture is not part of Casita.
Same thing.
I do like that they've confirmed a lot of details on this one, including that the ride takes place right as Antonio is receiving his special gift, and he opens his door to a rainforest room and he talks to animals, and that's an excuse to have animals in Animal Kingdom. And I don't care, I just want to see capybaras.
Yeah, I was going to say I want a capybara. I see him right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
It was on Disney Channel the other night and we were watching it, and I completely forgot the part where they where Bruno puts the ring around
talk about him,
the sand ring around, and they do a vision, and the capybara won't get up, so he puts the sand around the capybara, so the capybara, it keeps cutting back to the capybara during the scene, and he's still stoic, like he's unaffected by the giant like swirling cyclone around him. Oh,
we can go pet some. They're a Gatorland. We can pet them.
Wait, you're allowed to pet the giant rat?
I think so. I think you can go in. I think they have a petting area. Gatorland.
World's largest rodent. That's all I care about.
They're adorable.
I'm all about the rats.
They're adorable.
No, I think everyone thinks it's trackless because it's moving furniture. But I do notice in this picture, the vehicles are very close together. So maybe is it one like boat-sized couch, or is it 3 couches in a row, or is it an Omnimover?
Maybe they're different colors, so maybe it's 3 couches that were put together to move
Yeah, maybe it's like
to take families through because it's a family movie. Get it?
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
it's like 3 chairs in a row, but really that's one ride vehicle and it's
one
trackless.
one ride vehicle and trackless. So
Okay.
that's going to be my guess, but I can't tell from this picture because you barely even see the benches. So
Well, there's neither an Omnimover or a trackless ride in Animal Kingdom, so I'm fine with either.
yeah. Well, also it looks like they're leveled too, like stepped, but it could be just the way it's painted.
I think it's
like,
just the angle.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it could be many things. Like I don't know.
So, but I like that the casita will be alive. So like when you see it in the park, the shutters and stuff will be opening and closing, and it has different points of movement.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be a nice attraction. It's nice to have more things in that area again too.
And I definitely called it.
You did.
That this will be closing in phases.
You did.
I think that's something I talked to Nene about on Park Talk. And everyone keeps asking me, like, when will I be able to do dinosaur, or when will I get to see Dinoland USA one last time? And I'm like, well, do you care about Dinorama? Because do that first. I imagine that'll close October, November, but Dinosaur should be staying open and through the holidays.
Yay.
I don't know if they confirmed that. They just specifically said construction is set to begin this fall. But don't worry, you'll still have plenty of time to experience Dinosaur again. So I think they're going to work wall around the whole land except for Dinosaur and let you go into the one ride until they're ready. So essentially everything else is going to be worked on first. They have to demolish the parking lot that has Dinorama, take down that giant dinosaur with nipples. This is a family show. I apologize, but that's, let's be honest, those lights on the bottom of that dinosaur.
Yeah, for sure. Just slightly.
So they can clear all that first, and then, or maybe early next year, Dinosaur actually closes. So we have some time to ride that one ride. I'm looking forward to Restaurantosaurus serving decent food when it reopens.
Hopefully. All right, what do you want to talk about next?
Also in this park, we didn't say the best news of all. This one has an opening date.
Yay!
2027. Tropical Americas will open.
So it'll be here in no time. That's actually not too slow.
So yeah, I like that we got actual information for this one, and it looks really pretty, and it's a good use of existing infrastructure. But also, no, I was going to say the Zootopia show is still happening inside of the Tree of Life.
Yay!
It's called. I first when I saw the art, I thought it said Zootopia Better Together, but it's not. It's Zootopia Better Zoo-gether.
Oh, geez. Of course it is.
Zootopia Better Zoo-getter.
Because of course it is.
I think it's so funny that when Animal Kingdom opened, they worked so hard to say that it's not a zoo, and now they have an attraction with zoo in the title.
It's so ridiculous. Twice. Oh my goodness.
And this is opening. Where is it? Did I not write it down?
Nighttime parade.
Winter.
What? Winter?
Next winter.
Next winter.
Right? It has to be. It can't be. The Bug Show hasn't even closed yet. Yeah, I feel like they should tell us when Bug Show is closing.
Probably not gonna.
I think it's just next winter.
Okay, where are we going now? Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Opens next winter. I assume that means not this winter.
I mean, next winter is the winter that's coming, right?
That's too soon.
Yeah, I was going to say, but they can't mean that. It's
like a few months from now.
Yeah, they can't mean that.
Disney Parks blog, can we use years, please?
Yes, please.
People will be reading this article a year from now and think they mean like 2028. Like you need to make this make sense.
I mean, it can be read either way. Next winter can be the coming winter because it is the
next one. No, they mean that was
They do.
They would
mean
say
2025.
this winter. Does bi-monthly mean twice a month or once?
That's not. Does bi-weekly? Bi-weekly?
Does it mean every 2 weeks?
2 weeks
does it mean
twice a week?
Twice a week. We need answers. This is up to
clear.
you, Disney.
No, this is definitely next year, right?
2025. They haven't closed the Bug Show yet.
Exactly.
They got
a lot of work
Hopper
to do
out of there.
Yeah. Do some overhauling of a lot of things.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure in Disneyland opens November 15th. Critter Country is being renamed to Bayou Country, which makes no sense for Winnie the Pooh.
Whatever.
I wrote down a note. Zootopia Better Zoo-gether is brought to you in Carrot Vision 3D.
Oh, great. Perfect. So make sure you eat your keratin.
No, maybe it'll just be orange glasses instead of the bug goggles.
Probably just gonna be orange glasses.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I'll take that. Maybe have little like green stalks on the top, like the pen that she has that records him.
Like instead of eyebrows, we're gonna get green stalks.
It's called a hustle.
Well, I mean, don't the bugs things kind of have like eyebrows for the tentacles?
That's what I mean. So it could be like carrot shaped.
Yeah, carrot shaped and green. It's great. Perfect.
It has to be now.
No notes.
We said it on the podcast.
Perfect. No notes. Green lens, green frames with, or orange frames with green things sticking off.
Not that we have to talk about it, but the Magic Kingdom Pirate Lounge definitely looks like it took over the Pirates League space. They're doing a lot of work right next to the gift shop. Temporarily, they closed down Tortuga across the way, and they're using that as a makeshift gift shop. And I thought when they closed down Tortuga, I was like, they're going to turn this into the bar. It's going to be a huge bar. No, they're turning the Tiny Leagues thing into a tiny Trader Sam's style bar because that's what they do.
It's so small.
That's okay. So is Trader Sam's.
It can be like 10 people in there.
Yep. Well, speaking of small lounges, Spaceship Earth is getting a lounge.
Which was cool. I'm for that.
Well, it's just the sponsor lounge above the post show, and they're going to open it up to people and have a bar in there. And it'll probably be bigger than the Pirates one.
Oh, by a lot.
Well, it's not like Epcot's hurting for alcohol.
No.
Yeah. Well, it has views of World Celebration.
It does. Fireworks spot.
I don't know about, like, that's what people are saying, but, like, they put a bunch of trees and stuff. Well, no, it's pretty open in the middle.
Well, also, you might miss anything that happens on Spaceship Earth, but still, you could see fireworks maybe.
And then Test Track will be opening next year, 2025.
Yep.
I don't think we got any details. They just said it's opening.
Nope. They used the same exact picture we've been seeing for years now.
Okay.
I don't think we got anything on that.
Smuggler's Run. Yes, you did mention it. Smuggler's Run is getting a new mission. I called this one too, although when I looked online, other people had been talking about it too. So apparently it's floating around out there. I thought I just came up with it because I'm a genius.
Both can be true. Just you didn't see it before. It doesn't mean you didn't come up with it on your own.
Genius. I'm obsessed. There's a difference. There's
it's the same thing.
Well, I think it was Nene was asking me, like, why is Mando not get scenes when they're adding all these scenes to Star Tours? And I'm like, maybe they're going to wait until his movie comes out and incorporate him as the first new mission for Smuggler's Run because people really like Mando. Well, they like Grogu.
I like both.
And people will go to see the baby.
I would like to see the baby.
And Star Tours like really only pulls in new people for these new scenes like for a day, whereas the Millennium Falcon will pull in people for a year, I guess.
Maybe.
So my theory was, in a couple of years when that movie comes out, that Smuggler's Run finally gets a new mission, which is really needed.
It's good.
It's very, very much needed.
We need more than one new mission.
I mean, this mission, no offense, I like this ride and I like the mechanics of it. I know it's a little clunky, but I like it. I don't think basing the visual style on Solo was probably the smartest marketing move.
Yeah, maybe not.
Like a space train robbery, which is a great scene in that movie, but the movie didn't really have a lasting effect like in the zeitgeist.
I think people are a little too harsh on that movie, to be honest, but that's me.
Do you think people are a little too harsh on Smuggler's Run?
No.
Or is it boring and every time you do it, it's the exact same thing?
I always have fun because I usually get on and there's a kid driving, so I just am just a maniac and make jokes the whole time.
Bumping into things.
Yeah, I make it fun for myself. I don't know.
Cars is coming to Frontierland.
Yeah, I don't care.
I
don't care. I just don't. We're gonna get off-road cars. Cool. I don't care.
I think at the actual, because this was a packed theater. I think in the actual theater, all the announcements, like even the smallest ones, even like the lounge at Spaceship Earth, people were like losing their minds at all of this like amazing announcements. And then it got to Cars, and everyone got quiet because we're like, oh no, it's real. This rumor's true. And then when they showed the concept art, and it's not even full Cars Land, somehow, even though people were upset Cars was going to Frontierland, they were double upset that it wasn't even the good Cars ride.
I know. I just don't care.
It's mini Cars.
Look, Cars is fun for what it is, but it's still Doc Hollywood in the first movie. So the second one is, I forget what it's based on, but it's almost the same as another movie.
Is it a spy thriller?
No, I don't remember what it was.
And the second one is a spy thriller.
Oh yeah. There's one that is also
where
like
the fuel is swapped out to make the environmentalists look bad.
Oh yeah, that's right. One is also isn't one like a Rocky, like or something like that, like an old
the third
car
one
teaching.
Is.
Yeah,
yeah, the third one is.
It's just, dude. Yeah, I don't care.
Well, I care because it changes what Frontierland is. Where instead of the American frontier, like the Old West type frontier and like moving westward, now it's more like the natural beauty of the West. So it can be any time period, to which I say, what time period had sentient cars?
Exactly. This is why I don't care. It's just so ridiculous and out of theme. I just don't care. It's not worth getting upset about.
We've already putting
I'm
excited
Splash about.
Mountain in and now Tiana in. We've already bumped over 100 years into the future and bumped over to the east more than we should be for an Old West frontierland. So all bets are off. We've already moved 100 years in the future and moved halfway across the country to the right. Why not throw in sentient cars?
But now we're going to throw in
moments.
Now we're going to throw in sentient cars from the Midwest with Louisiana in the middle of it.
Well, you don't know that. We don't know where the Cars attractions are going. And they specifically said, I'm scrolling.
I know you are.
I'm scrolling. Ka-chow, Cars at Magic Kingdom, zooming to construction in 2025. Start your engines, fan favorite stories and characters from Pixar's Cars race into Magic Kingdom Park with 2 new attractions and fun for the whole family. Here's what they said.
All that said, if you like Cars and you're excited about this, I'm very stoked for you if you're happy for this.
They specifically said it does not take place in Radiator Springs. They're heading west to exciting new frontiers. And on one attraction, you'll go on a thrilling rally race through the mountains, taking on wild terrain as you race across the landscape, climbing mountain trails, dodging geysers, and, Mater's favorite, splashing through mud holes. And then for smaller racers, there's a second attraction that'll be geared toward them and will be fun for the whole family, which they said that, yeah, it's coming to a reimagined section of Frontierland at Magic Kingdom. It doesn't say it's expanding Frontierland. It says it's coming to a reimagined section. That tells me it's an existing part of Frontierland. And it's not like they're going to close the Country Bears. They just reimagined that. And they just reimagined Splash Mountain. And they're refurbing Big Thunder Mountain. So where does that leave? That's already existing.
Tree.
That isn't a restaurant.
Tree.
Tom Sawyer Island.
That too.
Maybe. Because there's rumors that they were going to truncate the Rivers of America and make it smaller so that they can build beyond Frontierland. They can build a Villains Land back behind that, connecting to Fantasyland. Mm-hmm. So that does leave the little island of Tom Sawyer Island could be reimagined as a Cars Island, but that would also put this beautiful mountain from the concept art, this weird looking Roadrunner mountain.
Yeah.
With the waterfall. Yep. That could be a cool centerpiece on a center. Oh, there's Thunder Mountain in the background. There's Thunder Mountain in the background.
Yeah, there's Thunder Mountain in the background.
Oh, so maybe it is on the other side of Thunder Mountain connecting to Tom Sawyer Island?
I'm going to guess maybe.
Okay, so Alicia from the future here, just a couple days after we recorded this episode, the Disney Parks blog released an official piece of concept art that does in fact have the new Cars additions in Tom Sawyer Island and the Rivers of America, which are being paved over to build Cars area. That does leave like the Cars Mountain like right across from Country Bears, and the river looks like a new pathway to get from the one end of Frontierland to the other behind it, and leading to the new Villains Land, which will be the actual beyond Big Thunder Mountain, because Cars is... there's no more water. The water go bye-bye. You're here for the breaking news, people. This is the largest expansion to the Magic Kingdom in the history of the Magic Kingdom, and really Cars Land is just a giant walkway to get to Villains. I think that's what's happening here. We now return you to our previously recorded, confused, not knowing where this is going because they hadn't released concept art, already in progress.
got to be back there because then they're gonna, if they build villains, that'll give them a whole way around, right? That'll give you a whole connection
Well,
around.
yeah, that's why if you did Tom Sawyer Island, you'd still have the whole back half for villains.
Yeah, but if
and
you
then you'd
do,
save Big Thunder Mountain for future expansion.
yeah, but if you build out and then over,
I just want Coco here, okay?
Leave
me alone.
I know. I mean, there's a tree nobody goes into anymore.
What's a tree? What are you talking about?
In Adventureland.
There's a tree? That's so tiny.
I know.
That is
it's really
so
not
tiny.
That big. It's really not that big.
And we need to keep some classic attractions. As I say, trying to murder Tom Sawyer Island.
I know. We have Jungle Cruise. We're fine.
That's true. No, it seems like it's on the right side of Thunder Mountain. It still leaves room behind it for Coco one day. I want a clone of the California Adventure one, and I don't think it's big enough for the Mexico Pavilion.
I mean, there's a bridge in Coco, so maybe it could be Tom Sawyer Island as Coco.
No, I don't think that's happening.
I don't think that's happening either.
So that starts construction next year. We'll find out exactly where.
Just trying to find hope for you. That's all.
Oh, was there anything else happening in Magic Kingdom? No, I don't think so. Nothing.
Villains.
No, nothing else is happening. At Hollywood Studios.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Monsters Incorporated.
I thought we were going to save this for a debate at the end. That's why.
No, because there's nothing to talk about with villains, so we're just going to save that for the end. Okay. Here's the thing. This should be my favorite announcement.
Yeah.
This normally, under any other circumstance, this would be what I'm most excited for. One of my favorite, not just Pixar, but like movies ever, is Monsters Inc. I think the characters, Billy Crystal, hilarious, an icon.
Goodman.
You don't think about it, but he's also in The Emperor's New Groove.
Yep. John Goodman he's a national treasure. He's
a national treasure. That's right. We have an icon and a treasure together, and it's like, put that thing back where you found it, or so help me. Like their comic timing is so. There's a show that's somewhat decent on Disney Plus. It's got 2 seasons that takes place after we got the MILF, the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, MILF over at Magic Kingdom. Look, the concept art is beautiful.
It is.
I want to go to Harryhausen's. I think that's a slam dunk for a restaurant.
Yep.
The sushi, the monster sushi restaurant with the bocce tables.
I am waiting for the
slam dunk.
I'm waiting for this shoe to drop so everybody can cry.
The concept art, there's 2 versions of it. Looks like it is in 2 places we don't want it. One place we don't want it to be, and one place that we really
don't want it to be.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm fine. I've said 1,000 times before, because people always say, like, what would you do with Hollywood Studios? And I'm like, well, the theaters around Echo Lake need to be replaced. They're long in the tooth there. We need to reimagine the Backlot Express, but really we need to attack Animation Courtyard. I think that it's a waste of space.
Yep.
I think there's too many shows in this park that are dated. Now they are redoing the Little Mermaid show, so that's something, but it's still Little Mermaid, and we have enough Little Mermaid elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, and also they could redo some of the show buildings that are kind of long in the tooth that we were just talking about, put new shows in there instead.
But the animation building that has been launch bayed and just like dilapidated, and now it's just a couple meet and greets, is such a huge waste of space. And it's not a huge building, but the storefront, like the front of it, is a huge waste of space. Like, and then Disney Junior, nothing against Disney Junior. I think it's a good use of space, but it's not like, it's not earth shattering. And I think you can do that literally anywhere.
Truly.
So there's 2 pieces of concept art. One looks like it's in the Launch Bay Animation Courtyard area, the one that's like a wide shot, and then there's one that is clearly in Muppet Courtyard.
Yep.
And I did not sleep last night. I have been contacting people, and I have been overlaying the concept art and plans and things on top of the different areas of the park. And for a while, I convinced myself that this new door coaster is replacing Rock and Roller Coaster. I've convinced myself because the concept art, the wide shot, seemed to line up with the existing Cars show that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
The Racing Academy. And the gravity building for Rock and Roller Coaster looks just like the building facade for this door coaster.
Yes, it does.
But it's not that. It's not. There's 2 pieces of concept art. One is Muppets. One is Launch Bay Animation Courtyard.
Yep. And which one do they put out?
They put both of them out. You can look at it. There's I can see Pizza Rizzo in the background of the one with Sully in the picture. You
Mm-hmm.
can literally see the tower back there, the
Mm-hmm.
water tower. That's Pizza Rizzo's building.
Mm-hmm.
Studio One has been removed, and the facade for this roller coaster goes out into the parking lot behind this
Mm-hmm.
area. And on the right, where it's like a fruit stand,
Mm-hmm.
is Muppet-Vision 3D. That's that building.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes facades for something else, either a secondary attraction that's a theater show or something else that they got it. And then Harryhausen's is back there. But then in the wide shot, Harryhausen's is on a different side. And the Disney Junior building has been reimagined as a secondary attraction. So either way, you get dining location, the main door coaster, and a secondary theater attraction. Now, talking to people, it sounds like the Launch Bay version is a value engineered version. It is cheaper to build over there. It has less attractions. They put a little play area instead of buildings on the left side. If you look,
Mm-hmm.
there's like a little slide there. It is
Yep.
a
Philly
smaller
slide.
version. It's almost a mini land. And it doesn't have like a full theater show or a secondary attraction that Muppet-Vision would have. But it also probably definitely would lose the Mermaid Show building because
Oh, darn.
that juts out. I have thoughts on that. That the Mermaid building juts out into this courtyard area, and they need that space to put the little play area and Harryhausen's in the corner, which is off screen here. You can just see the eyeball with chopsticks.
Yep.
If you zoom in, the pigeon has two heads.
Nice. Perfect. Perfect.
So what was my point? My point is these are two competing ideas.
Yep.
One goes into Muppet Courtyard and is more money because it has more to offer and has a better secondary attraction, I'm theorizing. And the other costs less money because it has less to offer. However, they have to evict all the people using those animation offices. And you have to rearrange backstage a little bit more than just going out into a parking lot. So there's logistics here that are more complicated, but it costs less. And when it comes to logistics, they probably like the idea of it being simple. So Muppet was always going to be like their first choice. However, what we're doing right here and what I did last night, like tweeting frantically, and what everyone else has done when they saw what looked like the Muppet Courtyard in that one piece of concept art is changing history. What we're doing right now may be changing things.
Yeah, because people are like, don't touch the Muppets.
Right. I think that the backlash is probably stronger than Disney expected. And like what should have been my favorite announcement of the night is kind of filling me with dread
and anxiety.
Because how can I enjoy this door coaster, which we haven't even talked about, if I know that it comes at the expense of Jim Henson's last directing job and
I understand
his last big project.
I understand too, like the whole like Disney's not a museum thing, but like the Muppets are kind of sacred, and they haven't really been treated that way, and they kind of should be. And I think if they really want to do something for people, they will just plus up that land a little bit somehow, that area, and make it even nicer. And
have you done Muppet-Vision lately? It's in perfect working condition. All the effects have been reinvigorated. Yeah. They added the projection mapping for the little Waldos flying around.
Yeah, I'm talking about the area in general. Perfect
condition. Got new seats back in October last year.
That's amazing.
Perfect condition. I've never seen Muppet-Vision this good since 1992 or whatever.
I'm talking about the area though. Like they could do more to make it more Muppet.
I'm sorry. Are you speaking ill of Pizza Rizzo?
Not at all.
Okay.
I'm including that as part of upping
No, that's perfect. And it doesn't need anything.
No, I know. But I even like Mama Melrose, but I mean, it seems like they should update that to something.
Yeah. And Studio One has been left to rot and hasn't opened as a gift shop in 4 years.
Exactly.
And they did slowly remove things like the balloon for.
Yeah.
That's the thing I wanted to talk about too, is that some people are theorizing that you can't put a giant show building for a roller coaster in this area because they had to take away that Kermit balloon because it was just ruining the sightlines, or would have ruined the sightlines for Galaxy's Edge. To which I say, this show building is actually all the way back in the parking lot, so it's far enough away that distance will hide it, and even it's not as big as it looks. Also,
too, they are able, when they put in effort, they are able to hide buildings too, in plain sight.
Well, yeah, the Rock and Roller Coaster building is so far back that it does a really good job of hiding it.
Yeah, I mean, Tower Terror is always like seeing it from Epcot is always like a pretty basic example of them hiding buildings in plain sight too.
I still don't even know if that was on purpose or just a happy accident. It is a completely different color than Morocco.
It is, but the shapes and stuff kind of match. So I kind of think
they just put a more like pretty mauve on the back and a scary like burnt sienna on the front. Yeah. And it just happened that mauve blends into the distance of the Morocco.
I'm just saying. They do things where they hide things in plain sight all the time. They do. Not the Guardians building. That is not what I'm talking about.
This building is pretty big, I think. And what is not really shown in this concept art is all the factories, smokestacks on the sides are actually like the Remy's Ratatouille building. It's a false front and forced perspective to block the sides of the building because this building is actually wider than it looks.
Yep.
It has the big M monsters incorporated factory thing in the center, but then it has wings that go out further. Because if you look at the see-through model that they have on display at the convention floor today, you see that the building is actually quite wide and that the front is actually an illusion, a facade. But because of that, we get to see inside, and it's very cool. The door coaster, like the end of the first Monsters Incorporated movie, you'll actually start by having the first Disney suspended roller coaster. You'll actually start by getting in, and then the door claw will grab your vehicle and pull you up to start the ride, like it does when it pulls a door off the laugh floor, because this is after the first movie, so it's a laugh floor now. But you get pulled up. And then we start the ride, and it shows kind of the ride path all crammed into this gravity building for a ride. And it looks amazing. And the concept art looks really good, and it's family friendly. So it wouldn't go upside down like Rock and Roller Coaster. And it's iconic. And wait, why is Boo there?
Because it's Boo.
Wait a minute. If this takes place after the movie and it's Laughter Thereafter, which is literally engraved in the front of the building in the concept art, why would we be going on adventure with Boo still dressed in their disguise from the middle of the first movie?
Maybe she likes to wear her monster's disguise.
Oh, okay.
Kids do weird things. You have one. You should know this.
Yeah, and in the end of the first movie, they did put the door back together, although they're riding on Boo's door, and it doesn't look all glued back together to me. I really think this idea is 20 years old.
Yeah, for sure.
It is, because we've seen the old concept art when it was going to go next to Toy Story Mania.
Yeah, and people have been talking about this forever. So,
have you seen that concept art?
Not in a long time, but I did see it once upon a time.
You can tell it's the soundstage that was to the left back when they had a Pixar Street.
Yeah.
It was the soundstage to the left of Toy Story Mania. So you'd have Toy Story Mania on the right, and which is the same thing. It had the toys and the Tinker Toys and the Scrabble, but it would still look like a soundstage where they filmed the Mickey Mouse Club. And then on the left of that soundstage was going to be the Monsters Incorporated door coaster, and it had the Monsters Inc. Monsters Incorporated factory thing above it, but it still had the soundstage entrance at the bottom. And they fit this whole suspended door coaster into where they ended up building just a third track for Toy Story Mania to get an idea of how small this original concept was.
It was pretty small.
So, because it was a kiddie coaster. It's like the Legoland suspended coaster, Legoland Florida. I think just closed actually. But I think this new concept is a little bigger, because looking at the model, it looks more like, I'm going to say half Tron sized, but I'm also notoriously bad at size and numbers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it goes out wide too, it could go kind of wide and then up a floor.
It definitely is stacked. The track definitely goes over itself a few times.
Yeah. So I think it's going to, I could see it being slightly longer than Tron.
And it doesn't have to launch or anything, because it starts up by pulling you up to the upper level, and then you can just roll down and do gravity. But I think it's like a family attraction. I don't think it's too crazy. It doesn't have to have a big range of if you're not doing Montu circles, like barrel rolls, you don't have to have that big a ride envelope, because you're not doing spirals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could still be pretty long though. It doesn't have to be
super short. 65 seconds is my guess.
Yeah. Whatever. That's pretty good.
Yeah. In between a kiddie coaster and a big coaster, it's a family coaster. But still, what was my point? We need to rally around keeping the Muppets alive.
Protect the Muppets.
At all costs.
Literally at all costs, please.
The Little Mermaid, I forgot when it's going to, but they casted or they're. Can you imagine getting casted to be in this new show, this debuting new Little Mermaid show, and then they cancel it before it even goes? Like, you've been rehearsing for weeks. They showed off the costumes.
There's a theater that they don't use for really anything. Just go move it over there.
What theater?
The one that used to have the
Sounds Dangerous Theater?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually quite small. And it has
I know, but still.
Mickey shorts in it. Very important.
It's very small. Put it over there. No. What's the one next to Sounds Dangerous where they did the movie?
The American Idol experience? I mean, the Disney sing-along, Frozen sing-along?
Screw that thing. Get rid of that. Put
Frozen
that in there.
sing-along is very popular still for some reason.
Put Mermaid in there.
And you know what? You'd lose those cast members who do an amazing job.
They can also be part of the Mermaid show somehow.
The Arendelle Historic Society. They are hilarious.
I will figure that out later. They can be part of the show too.
It's a complicated situation.
It is.
I really don't want to lose Muppet-Vision. I feel it is an institution. I feel that maybe if Disney had not kind of just done whatever they want with Muppets and think of them as a marketing tool instead of an institution that needs to be protected, then I wouldn't care as much. But this is like the last good Muppet thing that exists.
It's the last great Muppet thing.
It's the last great Muppet thing.
There's some good Muppet things, but this is the last great thing that actually feels 100% like the Muppets.
Yeah.
I really don't want cast members to lose jobs and all that. Like, truly, I don't want that to happen, but I don't want to lose the Muppets either. I think they should be working on that area,
to which I'm sure everyone is typing furiously telling me, probably. I don't think we have to lose the Little Mermaid show to do this. And I'm telling you, that's what I think the plan is. The plan is for this courtyard where the animation courtyard is not that big, and they need that space on the left. Otherwise, it's not even a mini land. It's just a ride.
Ooh, what's left?
Villains.
Yeah, we got no info on that.
See, but that's the thing. I want to be excited for Monsters Incorporated. I just want to be excited.
We can be excited for it.
Tell me it's going to Animation Courtyard and I can be excited. Also, I didn't mention.
Yeah.
If you zoom, I'm never going to let it go. If you zoom into the wide shot of this concept art, the palm trees in the center of the courtyard line up with the palm trees in front of Launch Bay.
Yeah.
It's just that either this building is much smaller than it looks, or this courtyard is bigger than the actual animation courtyard. And I'm not sure which one it is. Maybe both. Because if you look how tall the people are, I guess the building's not that tall.
Let's see. Maybe like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5
stories. 5 or 6 stories.
6 stories. Yeah.
I mean, there's buildings over there. They could put a theater in one of those.
On the right is the Disney Junior Dance Party building, which is connected to the back of the Brown Derby building.
Yeah, we don't need that.
And that thing on the right, that grass, the trees on the right could be a future connection to Sunset Boulevard someday, if they wanted to do that.
That'd be cool, because that's one of those like random outlier in the middle of nowhere you got to walk to kind of things.
So Villains Land.
Okay.
I mean, they did not announce like a fifth gate for Disney World.
Nope.
Like I wanted. I don't really want. I just think it would like blow everyone's minds. But they did announce Villains Land is real.
Finally.
They would not have done this if they didn't mean it, because Josh D'Amaro looked me in the eye and he said, I promise this is not blue sky and that everything we talk about tonight will happen. Earth is moving.
Anyway.
The new land will encompass all your dreams, nightmares. The space will be home to 2 major attractions, dining and shopping on an incredibly twisted grand scale. Be prepared, you poor unfortunate souls, Josh teased. It's going to be a fearless new vision for what a Disney experience can be. I don't think they've come up with it yet.
Nope, they don't have a clue.
I think they don't want to
have a clue.
They can't say the words blue sky because they're not blue skying, but that art is definitely not going to be what the final product looks like.
Not even close. I don't even understand where this is supposed to sit.
I do think behind
I know, but I'm
the
saying,
rivers of America.
Strictly based on the art.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to because there's nothing there right now. It's just the fireworks launch site and the bus route to get to the parking for cast members. There's nothing back there right now. You know what's back there? Bears.
Trees. Bears and trees.
Anyway,
probably some snakes.
probably why did it have to be snakes? The concept art is beautiful, though.
It is.
There is a roller coaster on the left and what could be an indoor attraction on the right. And then what looks like water, but it's not. It's just really cool green lighting everywhere, and the roller coaster down in the bottom middle. And I'm hoping it's like Chernobog on a roller coaster, so it feels like we got Beastly Kingdom sorta in a way.
Chernobog on a roller coaster that's going to break down and turn into Disco Chernobog.
No, he doesn't. Why you gotta go there? Why gotta be that? Why gotta be that way?
I just like jokes.
Why gotta be so negative?
Now I'm starting to looking at this like Maleficent dragon thing bigger. It looks more like it's kind of like an arena, the way the rocks are built up. It's weird.
Oh, yeah.
You know
I think that's because they just stole it from the Phantasmic art.
Yes. That's what I think too.
This concept art is not like wholly realistic. That roller coaster looks unreal, probably because it is. Yeah, it does look like thorns. Like so that doesn't feel very Chernobog to me.
No, we need Chernobog.
I do think that the thing on the right could be a dark ride. Honestly, I think it could be the e-ticket from Avengers Campus with the Spider-Man vehicles because we don't have a screen-based motion tracked ride in this park. We don't have that.
We don't. And there's two sort of buildings. Like if you look, there's a walkway that goes into some of the buildings over there. That could be like food or entry over there too.
I feel like food could be the very back middle.
I was thinking,
maybe food is on the right. Yeah,
I think food is on the right, and it looks like because it looks like
there's in the mountains in the back. Yeah,
it looks like a golden kind of walkway going back there. The way it's lit, we don't know because it's not anything as far as we can tell.
So the roller coaster is supposed to be underwater.
That's you just see that? Weird. Yeah.
See, that would be. Weird. I think the roller coaster could be an opportunity to visit multiple villain layers, and then the ride could be them all coming together to break into Fantasyland next door and take over. Come on, that'd be good, right?
It'd be pretty good.
It's pretty meta.
What villains do you want to see in a villain's land?
Well, we have Maleficent's dragon already depicted.
Yeah, I don't really
and Chernobog was in the old Blue Sky art behind Big Thunder Mountain originally.
We need Chernobog.
I am a fan of Cruella de Vil.
Okay.
Obviously, there's classics like Jafar, Scar, all the Renaissance villains. Like, what about you?
I don't know. I always like Dr. Facilier, even though I understand he's culturally all that. I understand all that, but he looks great and his music is great too. It
would be a neat way to incorporate him into something since the ride takes place later.
Yeah.
And this is because it has all of them and all these villains died at the end of their movies anyway, so all bets are off.
Maybe this is where they all went when they died. We're just going to go hang out.
Can we have Lucifer the cat from Cinderella?
That's kind of fun.
That's my top pick.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of villains.
Before we knew the name of the Universal Classic Monsters inspired land at Epic Universe to be Dark Universe, when villains were rumored to go here, I've always been saying it should be named Dark Fantasyland. Because there's Fantasyland, and then hidden behind it, is Dark Fantasyland, which has always been there, but now we've opened up a new walkway.
Portal. We opened a new portal.
With Fantasyland 2.0 is the exact same way. Like, this has always been here just beyond the castle gates, but we've opened the castle gates, and now we can go to these new rides. So, Dark Fantasyland. But because, the comparisons are already being made that they only announced this because Universal's doing a Monsters Land. So, imagine if they actually named it Dark something.
It's a shame. I think that this would have had more impact if they didn't do the Blue Sky stuff where we saw the pictures before.
Yeah, because we already have an inkling that they were working on it. Yeah.
Yay, Villains Land, finally! I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot, even though people are excited. Still, I think it would have been a bigger hit.
Well, I think we're more surprised that it's actually real than excited. We are excited, but we're surprised.
I just wish we got actual concept art and not Blue Sky art.
This is clearly the furthest out of all the stuff that was announced.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because construction begins on Monsters Inc. 2025. So whether they choose to do it at Muppets, which they better not, or they choose to do it at Animation Courtyard, or take my advice and just replace Rock and Roller Coaster in the courtyard in front of that, they're starting next year, regardless of where they choose to go. They're starting construction on Cars at Magic Kingdom next year. But Villains just says Something Wicked begins construction soon. And as we know in theme park talk, soon is never. I was going to say 5 years from now, but
soon is never soon.
I think Josh tomorrow said everything that we're announcing tonight will be like done in 5 or 6 years. So we have to the end of this decade to get a Villains Land. So what's coming in 2025? 2 new lounges and test track and end of list.
Booze and test track.
I'm talking about Walt Disney World to compete with Epic Universe.
Booze and test track. Yep.
I do feel like these announcements have like sucked all the air out of the room, and that Universal, like people thought that Universal was going to release the opening date for Epic Universe and maybe even ticket information. And I kept saying like that would be a bad idea because no matter what Disney announces, it's all anyone's going to talk about for quite a while. And I think it has happened. They've succeeded. They've definitely dominated the conversation, and that a lot of these announcements are surprising and good. And even if they're 20 years old, like the Door Coaster, no good ideas never die in Imagineering.
Yeah. I think though all Universal has to do is really like throw something out there, and I think it'll flip.
Well, they just need to bide their time, and
there's nothing that's going to rival building a new theme park for anticipation and so on. So that's a rough thing to go against. It's a rough thing to go against, even with like the best announcements. So
this is a lot of investment in Magic Kingdom. I think that's exciting.
You just need to go after Tomorrowland now.
Well, that's something we should talk about. That was my first instinct, is that a lot of this feels like rearranging for the future stuff.
Yeah.
Where they're making room for certain things. If you take Monsters Inc. I was going to say MILF again, but that's an acronym I probably should stop using. If you take Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor and move a similar type show with the interactive cartoons to the new Monsters Inc. Monstropolis Land, you can close it in Tomorrowland. Stitch is already closed in Tomorrowland. You move the Tomorrowland Speedway, or you remove the Tomorrowland Speedway because you have a new kid-friendly driving ride over in Frontierland.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what that is that you have a new modern driving ride, and that doesn't stink up the place over in that land. So you can close this one. That's like the whole front half of Tomorrowland. You can reimagine here. And there's a ton to reimagine at Disneyland's Tomorrowland. And you could do both at the same time. And we could be 2 years away from D23 Expo. And the next announcement is Tomorrowlands of today. And they like a dual coast announcement.
That'd be cool. That's what I really want them to do, because just leave my people mover alone. Other than that, it needs some love.
Well, and Disneyland gets their people mover back.
Yes, please.
And that was something we all kind of hoped would finally get announced here. This is like 3 D23 Expos. We keep hoping for the. I know. I want it to happen just for him.
I know. That's why I want it to. It's not like I'm going to be there anytime soon. I want it to happen just for him too.
Insider info. It's happening. I believe it.
I believe it is
in
too.
My soul.
I believe it is too.
I've heard it for a couple of years now. It's definitely happening. But I feel like they've got all these other like things to do first. To move things around so they can just do really blow us away with a big Tomorrowland redo, which is perpetually coming tomorrow.
Gimme. Yeah, I really don't think Dallin's been saying that for the last few years, just off cuff. Like, I know he wants it badly, but I think he's hearing rumors that it's definitely happening.
It's become a bit, but it comes from a place of real.
It is. I just want, poor offhand Disney, I just want you to have your people mover back.
Yeah, and Nene too.
And Nene too, for sure. Nene, of course I want you to have your... You know what? If they announce that, we need to have both of them on here so we can just talk about that. And nothing else for an hour. Just
Glee screaming the whole time. But yeah, those are those types of things, and the Beyond Big Thunder Mountain, the poor train's going to be closed again for 2 years. You just know it.
Yeah, it's going to have to be to do all this stuff.
But it's a lot of infrastructure moving around, a lot of chess pieces to move around to make room for new things. Just like Country Bear Jamboree is like, and Tiana are like phases of reconceptualizing what Frontierland is, and the Cars Land is kind of like the nail in the coffin for old Frontierland.
Yeah.
So
I really hope that that's the plan long term, is for them to tackle Tomorrowland, because it really needs some love. I think there's a couple more areas of Magic Kingdom they need to feel a little more updated, because some of it really is feeling its age.
I think we can lose Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin too, even if it's a retheme like you got over in Hong Kong. Speaking of, we didn't mention Hong Kong is getting another ride for Stark Expo.
Oh yeah.
Hong Kong is getting a Tower of Terror drop ride, it looks like, themed to
Updated,
Spider-Man.
which is kind of cool. Kind of curious to see how that plays out.
And Shanghai Disneyland, of course, is getting their Spider-Man coaster, but we got concept art, and it does look like the Cosmic Rewind spinning coaster.
It does. The cars look almost identical.
They're just painted like Spider-Man.
Yes, they are.
So we can't get no like Avengers Campus style Tomorrowland, luckily.
No.
Because we're not like contractually allowed. But I wonder, like, they can't do Ant-Man and the Wasp shooter out of our Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin. So I wonder if they did retheme that, what would it be? Or would they combine that into the Circle Vision space behind it where MILF is now and create a bigger, larger attraction there at the entrance to Tomorrowland?
I think that'd be better. I think the issue they're going to have more is where Stitch the Encounter was, because those theaters are kind of built that way into the building.
That could be a secondary, like that could be a dedicated meet and greet space if they gutted it and have multiple rooms, like a good, like Belle's Enchanted Tales, like a good meet and greet. If they want to, with like a cool entryway that's sci-fi, and then have rotating characters inside,
or some indoor food over there.
No, we have Cosmic Rays.
I know.
And then
it's not very good though.
I think if you had Wings, Delta Dream Flight, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin is a little long in the tooth, and it needs to either be a shooting ride where I don't control it with a joystick because man, is that annoying.
Yeah.
Or a completely new ride in that building, and I think a double wide ride would be even better.
Yeah, because you get. Yeah, I agree. I think they need to just gut that whole side out and make it into one ride.
Because I don't want them to lose Carousel of Progress. No, I don't want. They redid all the seats. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
A lot. They got good deals on all these seats lately.
No touchy the carousel. Look, again, I understand it's not supposed to be a museum, but there's a couple things that are sacred. Just a couple. Not a lot, just a couple.
I feel like the Muppet-Vision is like the modern version of Carousel of Progress.
I agree.
Like, there will be people who are devastated if you were to take it away. For me, it's PhilharMagic. If you take away PhilharMagic, I would like die inside.
Yeah, I know you would, but I don't care.
I care.
I know you do. I will defend it just for you, but I don't care personally.
Like the fact that they added the Coco scene fills me with joy because they didn't take anything away. They added like an extra 3 minutes to what was already like my favorite thing in Magic Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So lots of things, like that's what I'm also excited about. I got excited about these things, but even the ones I'm not excited about make me excited for the future because things are getting rearranged and they're filling gaps.
I'm going to give homework. Is that okay? Can I give homework?
Sure.
Pretend like distance is not an issue for you and you could just teleport to any of these things at will. Which three would you look forward to the most? Doesn't matter what park they're in. That's my point. Which three sound the coolest?
So I can get more excited about things that are farther away.
Well, also, I mean, and there is some pretty cool announcements in other places, not just Orlando. So, I want to give everybody a chance to be like stoked for anything that's out there. That's my point. So,
well, yeah,
because it's not like I could do a top 3 for Orlando. I mean,
so if you're watching the YouTube version, leave a comment with the 3 things from these announcements that you're most excited for.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Period. Doesn't matter about distance. Don't think about how you can't get to it.
Okay. So in that case, it's Avatar, Coco, and then something here.
Yeah.
What would it be here?
It would probably be Monsters for you if it doesn't kill Muppets.
No, I think it's going to be Tropical Americas. I love me and my Animal Kingdom.
I know you do.
And I'm going to get more use out of that than I will anything else.
I'm curious to see the new test track.
Really?
Well, you can't throw World of Motion out there and not make me curious, at least.
Oh, no, I'm definitely curious.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's my top 3 because I don't know yet.
It's still test track. But
I know, but dude, if they play the music, I'm going to be happy. But yeah, I don't know. It's
fun to be free?
It's fun to be free, yeah.
Okay.
Give me that. At least in the queue or something. Give me that. Give me something.
Oh, yeah, no, they really need to.
I think the new Avatar looks great, though. Yeah, I'm kind of stoked for the tropical stuff, too.
A lot of people thought we were going to get the Lion King for Animal Kingdom, the same boat ride.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I think that it may be something that was being developed, but at the last minute they gotta pick and choose which ones they're definitely not going to back out of to announce. And that was when maybe they're on the fence.
I don't think I could pick a third one because
why not?
Because I like Coco a lot, like a whole lot.
What about the Avengers e-ticket?
No. That's not
what about Villains?
Villains would be if I had more information.
Oh, just say Villains.
No, I don't know what's in there yet.
Who cares? It'll be a coaster. It'll be fun.
You know what? Maybe it might be a coaster. We don't know. They might change their mind.
Honestly, 2 attractions themed to villains, even if they're terrible, is better than no attractions themed to villains.
Well, I mean, Snow White was kind of scary, but they took that away from me. So
the way she turned around and she was the old lady. That's
so good.
So scary.
So good.
So good. And she's laughing maniacally, but it's those like still figures that don't move. So it even made it scarier somehow.
So scary. Yeah, I mean, I want to say, don't get me wrong, I want to say villains, but I want some information on villains. So.
Well, yeah, don't get me wrong. I want to see Monsters Inc. and like go to Harryhausen's, but I want to know where they're building it.
Exactly.
There's all those memes right now. Josh, just tell me where it's going. Just tell me where it's going.
I can assure you, though, it's not Cars. I don't care.
Oh, yeah. This scenic stuff in the background looks pretty. It's Purple Mountain Majesty. Like awesome. They're trying to tribute to the west of our country now.
The theming does look incredible. I don't. The ride doesn't excite me. I don't think it's meant for me anyway. So that's not even me putting down the ride.
You think it'll be the Radiator Springs like actual test track, like outdoor, because that thing has to close if there's lightning within 6 states away.
I was thinking it's going to be something similar to that, like an updated version of that.
They don't show the track slot.
Yeah.
It's
just not for me. It's not that I think it's a bad thing. It's just not for me. That's all I really mean by it.
Okay. Just being so your third thing is Fortnite. All the new skins.
Yeah, of course, obviously.
All right, so we're all agreeing that doubling the fleet of cruise ships is seems like the bulk of the $60 billion they're putting toward this division.
Yep, we're good. That's it.
And that whatever's left over after all of these things will go to villains, and that's why we're concerned.
Okay, now we're done. I'm gonna go spend 2 hours watching it, see if I can find clips of the music that they played for hours apparently on it, because that's really what I wanted to watch. Not
you really wanted to watch the music?
Of course.
I know they played the Horizons theme.
Of course they did. Save Muppets.
Save the Muppets. Hashtag save the Muppets.
Save the Muppets. Disney, don't you dare.
Bye.
Dare.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.